Hi guys, Ben here. I wanted to answer the question that I see a lot, which is where do I source high ticket dropshipping products from? Now, for those who aren't in the know, high ticket dropshipping is where you dropship high price products. The lowest price product being £500, which is what I advise, £500 or $500. Highest it can go up to crazy figures. Highest I ever sold was £5,000 product. But bare minimum, you want £500. The reason for that is less customer service, less admin, less worries about returns, anything like that. You just need to make one sale per day and you're all sorted. Now, the difference between those dropshippers that are just following trends and trying to make a quick bit of money, selling tat from China, and those who have a proper legitimate dropshipping businesses, the legitimate ones consider themselves to be proper businessmen. They consider it an actual business that they do every day, and they put all the time and effort into making it a successful business. They're in it for the long haul. And so if you are to get into high ticket dropshipping, the only way to find success is to treat it like that. Now you're probably asking, how do you find these products that can be dropshipped and that are really expensive? And the answer is that there are lots of suppliers and manufacturers in your own country who are willing to dropship. It's just a standard process these days. When I started dropshipping in 2019, trying to sell high-priced products, I had to have conversations with some of the account managers and explain what dropshipping is. Some of them hadn't heard of it, and so maybe I didn't even use the term dropshipping. I would have to just go through each step of how the process would be, and they'd be like, oh, I guess we could do that for you. It's not like that anymore. Everybody knows about dropshipping, and a lot of manufacturers and suppliers are very happy to do it for you. They most probably do it for their standard bricks and mortar retailer stores, so there's no reason why, if they want to make more sales, why you can't establish a business relationship with these suppliers and manufacturers. Now, it can be tricky, and what I like about high-ticket dropshipping is there's a moat around your castle, in that not everybody can get into high-ticket dropshipping like they can with just standard dropshipping. High-ticket dropshipping, it requires you to, as I said earlier, think of it as a legitimate business. So you want to create a limited company, and you want to have conversations with account managers at these suppliers and manufacturers and talk to them about opening a trade account. And you need to convince them why they should work with you, because they've most probably got requests from other people who they've declined. And so the gold tier and silver tier suppliers, they're not just always so willing just to work with anybody. What I call bronze tier suppliers, they tend to be ones who will just take on any trade account. They're willing to let anybody work with them, and it's just how it is. So you may start your high ticket dropshipping journey by using bronze tier suppliers, and that's fine. You need to start somewhere, and maybe you can't get to the silver and gold tier suppliers just yet. Maybe you could sign up one or two silvers. You never know. I was lucky enough to sign up a gold supplier when I first started, and the way I did that was I had a conversation with somebody on the phone. I said, can I speak to, the account manager for the area of the country that I was living in? Got in contact with the guy, had a nice chat on the phone, and we said, let's just meet up. And he said he'll be in my area in the next week or so. So we went for a coffee. I invited him for a coffee at my local cafe, took him for a nice cappuccino, and we just had a chat, what my ambitions were, what I thought about their products, what I intend to do, what my experience was. I was perfectly honest with him, and he understood that, I wasn't a big bricks and mortar retailer, but he was willing to take a try just because I was able to have that chat with him and express my determination. And he could see that I wasn't just make a quick bit of money online type of guy. He knew I wanted to make a legitimate business, and that's what I did. Over time, you can get sales, build momentum, and create a bigger store. And over time, you can go to gold suppliers who maybe turned you down in the past, come back to them, and you can show them, these are the sales that I made. These are the these are your competitors who I'm selling on my website. It'd be great if you would sign me up and I can sell your products too. These suppliers, they want to make money too. They just don't want to work with anybody because it could be more hassle for them, really. If they sign up anybody who's just, a drain on them and just constantly asking questions and, it doesn't provide good customer support. And so their brand gets associated maybe poorly with your store if you're not providing a good service. They don't want that. So it's just a matter of thinking about, I run a legitimate business. I want to be successful at this. I want to work with other legitimate, successful businesses. There's synergy there. We can both work together. And, if you can't convince them, you can try again later. But those gold suppliers are the ones who will have nice profit margins. They're going to have nice customer service generally, who help you with any questions you have. Quality control, things like that. They're just much better. And there's a reason why they're gold suppliers. Now, you've got to make sure that you've chosen the right niche, a niche that you've determined to be successful. And the way you do that is that there are clues that are left behind. There are other drop shippers who are already in the space who are successful, and there's no reason why you can't be successful either. Choosing the right niche is very important, and there are lots of techniques to find out what a good high-ticket dropshipping niche is. But once you've established that, contacting and finding suppliers isn't too tricky. I'd say being accepted and having a trade account accepted by higher tier suppliers, those silver and gold suppliers. Now that takes a bit of experience and skill, I'd say. You can't just do that willy-nilly. And from there, you just go to their website and there should be a section that says trade account, and you can get information on who they work with and if there's contact information there. You can send them an email, but I would generally say phone them up, just speak to somebody. They get loads of emails and, they're already making sales. So getting a trade account, it can be a bit difficult at times. You just want to get in front of somebody. You want to speak to somebody who's a decision maker. So you ask them at the reception, generally you're going to go through to reception. I'm interested in opening a trade account. Is there an account manager I can speak to and have a chat with? Can I have their number, preferably, or their email address? And then I'll be wanting to get in contact with that person who, makes the decision whether they sign you up or not. Once you have that person's contact details, you can then explain what you intend to do. If you don't have a website set up, just say it's in development. And you can say that these are the types of products I want to sell. I think your range of products fits in well with the brand I've created, and I'm really valuing customer support. That's a really important one because they don't want their brand associated with, dodgy retailers or anything like that. And you could do what I did, see if you can have a chat with one of them face to face. You could even do a video call if need be, but face to face is number one, I'd say. Just meet over a coffee if they're in your area, or maybe you could go to them. The gold supplier that I had, who fortunately, I was able to convince them to work with me from the first day. That was from meeting him face to face and having a coffee. He eventually invited me over to their manufacturing warehouse where they showed me how they produce the products. So it's all about establishing a relationship because they're just people at the end of the day. You're a person, he's a person or she's a person. You just got to have that professional relationship, but you can have a laugh with them, you can have a chat, you can establish some sort of professional relationship with them. And then they're going to be a lot more likely to work with you. They're going to trust you more. Rather than so many people who just send emails are just scared to, they're not convinced of themselves. They feel like they're doing something dodgy. They feel like I'm doing the online dropshipping stuff and this is really dodgy, or they feel like they don't have confidence in themselves, and that comes through too. That's something that's very important, and you may have to work on when you're contacting those suppliers. You can find a way to establish what a good supplier is. What you can do is, if you establish the suppliers or manufacturers that maybe aren't those sort of gold or silver tier suppliers, You can practice with the bronze tier ones. You can just speak to people and get used to the process of, my name's Ben, I'm phoning from such and such, I really like your products. We've got a website we're working on now. We've got this whole brand that we think would really match the products that you offer. I'm really passionate about customer support, offering high value customer support. Yeah, that sort of thing. Go through the process of it. Once you've done it 3 or 4 times, it's going to feel really natural, and you'll know what those answers and questions that come up will be. One of them being, if you want to set up a trade account, you should probably know what paying pro forma means, which means that you pay up front. So the customer buys on your website, you take their money for the order, then you pay whatever the cost is from the supplier, you pay that money to them. So you don't need the money up front, you just get that customer's money up front and you pay for the product that way. There's lots of things, you pick them up over time. Now, if you are interested in setting up your own high ticket dropshipping business, or you've got one already that maybe isn't doing so well and you would like to progress your business, click on the link below, because I offer a free half-an-hour discovery call. And in that half an hour, I chat to you and I find out what it is that you're after, what you're having issues with, if you're starting right from the beginning. And I help people to make a success out of dropshipping, okay? And so if that's something of interest to you, click on that link below. And, worst thing that can happen is we have a half-an-hour call and I can help you and give you some valuable information, and, we walk away and leave it at that. But thanks for your time anyway, and feel free to leave any comments below if you have any questions about high-ticket dropshipping and suppliers and manufacturers and all of that. Cheers.